Long ago, in a time when Britain was drowning in darkness, a time of war and despair, when kings fought over thrones and hope had all but vanished, there was a prophecy, one that would change the very fate of the kingdom. His heart was pure, his spirit untamed, and in his hand a simple wooden sword. By pure chance, he reached for the sword in the stone, and with a gentle tug, he pulled it out as the world watched in shock. Morgana, who had been raised in the ways of darkness, desired power for herself. Meanwhile, Merlin, sensing the growing darkness, tried desperately to guide Arthur, urging him to take action before it was too late. The kingdom was plunged into civil war, brother against brother, friend against friend. In slaying his son, Arthur's own life force ebbed away. Mortally wounded, he was carried back to Camelot, where the knights wept for their fallen king. Now, if you like the classic tales, then you are in for a treat, because we have reimagined the whole Arthurian legend in graphic novels. As darkness closed in, Arthur knew his time had come. He had fulfilled his destiny, but at what cost? Was this the end of Camelot? Would darkness consume all? Or was there still hope? In the end, it all came down to a final confrontation between Arthur and Mordred. They met in the middle of the battlefield, father and son, king and traitor, each with a claim to the throne. Their swords clashed, steel ringing against steel, and in that moment, destiny was decided. But Arthur, bound by his own sense of honor and duty, hesitated. He couldn't bring himself to believe that his son would betray him and magic, where he slept in eternal slumber, waiting for the day when Britain needed him once more. As the legend goes, Arthur didn't die, not really. He merely waited, patiently and majestically, for his time to rise again. She conspired with the forces of evil, plotting to steal Arthur's crown and plunge Camelot into chaos. But her most terrifying secret lay hidden. Arthur had a son, Mordred, conceived in secret, destined to grow up and usurp his father's throne. Little did Arthur know that his blood would indeed be his blade, and his son, the one who would bring him low. For in that moment, destiny changed hands. The true king had risen. It went, "He who pulls the sword from the stone, Excalibur, buried deep within it, shall be the true king of England." So the sword stood, an ancient blade imbued with magic, buried deep in a massive stone. No man could move it, not the strongest warriors nor the most cunning wizards. They all failed until one day, when destiny had its way, a young orphan boy appeared before it. He had no crown, no title, no birthright, just a name. Arthur. Arthur was crowned king, and the kingdom prospered under his rule. Around him, he gathered the noblest of warriors, Sir Lancelot, Sir Galahad and Sir Tristan, forming the legendary Knights of the Round Table. Together they fought for justice, vanquishing evil and protecting the innocent. But behind the throne, in the shadows, dark forces stirred. Merlin, the great sorcerer, watched over Arthur, guiding him with wisdom and ancient magic. He became Arthur's mentor, teaching him the ways of the sword and the secrets of the kingdom. Merlin loved Arthur like a son, but he also carried a heavy burden of foresight. One day he revealed a terrible prophecy to Arthur. A prophecy that chilled the young king to the bone. "Your blood shall be your blade, and your son shall be your end." Arthur didn't understand, but fate was already weaving its tapestry. And beknownst to Arthur, his half-sister, Morgana, carried envy in her heart and magic in her veins. As Mordred grew, so did Morgana's schemes. She twisted his heart, filling him with hatred for his father and the kingdom of Camelot. Then came the inevitable. Mordred, consumed by his own ambitions and Morgana's dark influence, led a rebellion, turning the people of Camelot against their king. Arthur, though wounded and weary, struck down Mordred, ending his son's rebellion. But victory turned to anguish as he realized the cost. Before his final breath, Arthur was taken to the mystical island of Avalon, a place of healing. So ends the tale of King Arthur, the once and future king, the legend that lives on in stories and songs, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, hope and glory can prevail.